On this episode of Samp and Chance, we are doing our first annual mid-year in review for boxing. So, guys, sit back, relax, strap in, and most importantly, thank you for letting us in your ears. Samp and Chance out. Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Samp and Chance. As we did on Tuesday, today we are giving you the first annual Samp and Chance mid-year boxing in review. Now, to do this with me is my man with the master plan. I wouldn't want to do this with nobody else. Mr. Chance Michaels, happy Thursday, my friend. Here we are. The weekend is upon us, and you know what? We're only a few sleeps away from that All-Star game, brother. I am so excited. How you doing, bro?
Happy 4th of July to all our American friends and listeners.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All-Star game is here. 1 week from today, we will be watching the All-Star game. Home run every night before. We're lucky. I can't wait. 21 years in the making.
Yeah. No, we're just a few sleeps away, man, and can't wait. I'm excited. Some people have pulled out. How do you feel about guys who reject the offer to participate?
In the All-Star game or the home run derby?
Both. It's just to being selected to be a part of something.
I don't across
like the board. Across the board. NBA, hockey, all of it.
I don't like it. It's they're thumbing their nose at it. We don't need it. We want the break. You're voted in by the fans. Show the fans some respect. Pay you millions and millions of dollars. Show up, swing the bat, shoot the ball, shoot the puck, and get at it.
Can you blame a guy saying that I'd rather take that time to focus on being better for my team, though? That's
if he's injured, fine. But if not, no. This All-Star game is a show, is a spectacle to show off your sport, the best in the world, whatever sport you're at, show up and you should be there. Not go spend time with your kids, not take the break because you're paid millions to do something special. You have half the year off with your kids. These guys only work half the year.
Yeah.
Right? So I think you should be, if you get voted, you got to go, I think it's kind of rude not to.
I agree.
Especially the salary that they make. Come on, $20-30 million a month.
Yeah.
The game.
How about the guy like I'm not sure if you're a fan of him or not, or I'm just saying like an A-Rod, like a player of that level in elk. You've done 15 of these. Number 16, you say I don't want to. Are you okay with that?
No, I don't like it because the fans are voting you in. We buy the tickets, we buy the hats, the shirts to pay your salary. Get your butt there.
Well, shit, man. I mean,
because it's such a short career, right? You only get a little window, right?
And think about it.
And here we are. Most guys go.
As fans as ourselves, we're so excited.
Exactly. Oh, absolutely. You imagine if you see your favorite player just feels like sitting down and not coming out. You bring your kid, pay the parking, the food, and then the hotels, and they don't show up. They don't feel like it. Come on, NBA is the worst.
Yeah. No, they are really bad for it, right? I mean, I don't know how many kids probably have gone home crying.
Well, my Reigns himself, he went to watch Giannis play. Didn't feel like playing, called load management, didn't come out for the game. All these kids at the Raptors game in Giannis jerseys, he doesn't even come out, doesn't take the warm up, just didn't feel like it. Resting him. Come on.
Fair enough. I tell you what though, man, let's get into it here. Here we go. Samp and Chance's mid-year in review boxing edition. So let's start right off the bat. Male fighter of the first half of the year. I went Devin Haney. I've been blowing this guy's trumpet for a while, and here's my reason why. Number one, the guy has defended his undisputed title twice this year so far.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that, right? I mean, February in Australia and then Lomo. So that has to be said something. He's the most active out of everyone as a champion, in my opinion. He's already fought twice. He's probably going to fight maybe once more this year, maybe twice more this year. Who knows, right? But I mean, how many guys do you know of that level are putting out 3 to 4 fights a year?
Not many. No, man. He's a great fighter. I don't like that he won that decision, but yeah, I can't argue with your pick. My pick, I don't like the guy at all. He's not a good guy outside of boxing. He's a very bad guy. A lot of bad stuff. We're just focusing on in the ring. I had to go with Tank Davis. He beat both Garcias, your Hector, and then Ryan. The reason why I gave it to Tank is because it was the biggest pay-per-view of the year so far, the biggest gate of the year. So I got to give him male fighter of the year because he's drawn the biggest audience. Not my personal favorite guy, but give it to Tank Davis.
Yeah, and I thought about that as well. But then, you know what? I kind of went as I was looking at it, I had Tank, I had Devin on this list as well.
Mhm.
And I had a couple other guys there as well. But then
If Lomo would have got the win over Haney, I would have gave it to Lomo for his age, but he didn't get the win, so I can't give it to him.
well, that's it, right? So,
Right?
and then I was kind of looking at it all and trying to like, okay, well, at the end of the day, he's been the most active,
Yeah.
right? I
Well,
mean,
Tank's fought twice this year too, though.
Tank has fought twice as well, but I'm just looking at, okay, I looked at that as well, but my final thing was he's undisputed and he's
Yeah.
defended undisputed twice,
No, I can't disagree with you. Yeah,
right?
I just gave it Tank because of the numbers.
I mean, the only
myself.
other guy who's defended undisputed since becoming undisputed would have been Canelo,
Yep.
right?
That's up himself.
Yeah. So I mean, outside of him, all the other, yeah. So that was
It's
for
definitely
me.
between Haney and Davis. You can go either way with it.
Yeah, neither one's wrong. Different
Yeah.
reasons. All right, so Devin Haney for me and Tank for you. All
Yeah.
right, best female fighter of the year, or of the half year. So here's where I went. I went with Chantel Cameron. She beat Katie Taylor, giving her first loss. Not
Big
only
upset.
her first loss, big upset, also losing at home. Her being composed, controlling that fight the way she did, under all the circumstances, under all the pressure and everything. That is why I gave Chantel Cameron. Now, the obvious pick here would have been Clarissa Shields, but I mean that just would have been too easy. Clarissa's just steaming everybody she runs across. So I went this way because I mean, outside of Katie Taylor and Clarissa Shields, I mean, they're the two, right? So to beat one of them would be for me. That's where I go. Yourself?
I went with Shields, like you said. It was almost too obvious. It's the low hanging fruit. You had to grab it. I had to give it to Shields. He's 28, undefeated.
Yeah.
One of the most popular women boxers, #1 pound for pound. Shields, but I like your pick too. That was a good pick. I was thinking that too. So it's good that we have different picks, but you can't go wrong with either one of those two. They're both outstanding.
No, can't go wrong at all. All right, let's get into it then. Best fight of the year so far on the male side. I went Lomo and Haney with a close second with Lara and Wood.
Yeah.
But I went Haney and Lomo because that fight was spectacular. Take away the decision, take away everything after the fight. You just look at the fight itself. Best boxing match of the year so far in terms of just boxing, just the way these guys work and everything. Separate the decision. Yeah, separate it. You just look at the fight for what the fight was, and hands down, right now, best fight.
Yeah.
Was Tank and Ryan. Tank and Ryan. Yeah. Tank and Ryan had more eyes on it, but the fight was shit.
Yeah, that wasn't a great fight. No, right? I agree with you. Haney Lomachenko, and then Dermiachenko and Wonga had a good fight there about 3 weeks ago. I think it was 4 weeks ago. There on DAZN. That was a good fight too.
That was also
Dermiachenko's 37. He I thought he won it, but they didn't give it to him. But
yeah, I mean,
those two fights. Lomachenko and Dermiachenko. The Chenkos.
The Chenkos, eh? There you go. Yeah. For the girls, again, here's where I went. I went Amanda Serrano, Erica Cruz. I thought that was just a battle. I just that the hard shots, overall, I just thought right now, in my opinion, that's the fight that stands out on the girls' side. I was gonna go Cameron and Katie Taylor, but the power punches and just what those two girls were throwing at each other in that fight tells me that so far is the best women's fight of the year.
That one probably had the most action. The most significant one was obviously the Cameron and Taylor one. So I'm going to go with that one. But you're right. That fight had the most action. This had the most significance. So I had taken Cameron and Taylor on that one, which is a great fight too. It's all right.
Fair enough. Now, I'm really curious to see what you want to say about this one because, I mean, best promoter and best promoter of the year so far. Who would you say?
Man, it's a tough one, right? I always want to give it to my boy Bob, but I mean, Haney Lomachenko was a great fight, but that was only the biggest. Really, and the Anderson card was good, but it wasn't great. So, I mean, you got to give it to. I think PBC so far has been the best. And I hate to say that, but so far for the fights they put on, it has to be PBC.
Everything that led up to July 1st is what's being taken into account here, right?
Yeah,
and if that's the case right now, Al Heyman and PBC, #1 promotion. let's think about it. They had Tank and Ryan. They had the Tank Ryan fight. They probably had the best card of the year so far, which we'll get to
Plan.
next. We'll make our picks there next,
Yeah.
right? And I think the icing on the cake here is signing Canelo to a 3-fight deal.
Massive.
Right? And considering what that first fight is going to be, it's crazy. It's just absolutely crazy what PBC has done this year so far.
Yeah.
So based on that, Al Heyman and PBC, hands down right now, probably best work, best
so far.
So far this
Top
year.
Rank's going to counter because they're either going to do Lomachenko Shakur, or Lomachenko Haney rematch in the fall. One of those two big fights is going to happen. Probably Haney Lomachenko, because Haney wants to shut everybody up and saying like me and everybody else.
I feel bad for Haney.
But maybe Shakur might get on with
Lomachenko. Let's see what they do. It's kind of funny because Shakur, I was watching an interview with Shakur just recently, and he's saying like, everyone's always calling his name and talking about him and shit. But I don't have a fight right now, he says, and I'm not hearing from anyone.
He wants to fight Lomachenko. He said, "You beat Haney, fight me. Let's go. We're the two best. Do it. That'd be an amazing fight. I'd like to be at that one.
I think that would be sick, and I'd have to go with Shakur.
He is younger. He would be the favorite, but you can't count out Lomo. Though.
No, you can't count out Lomo. But I mean, if there's a guy who has that skill,
it's him.
It's him, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Shakur would beat the shit out of Haney.
I think so.
Well, not beat the shit out of him, but he
would win the decision.
Yeah. All right. So that being said, why don't we go to the best card of the year? When we say best card of the year, top to bottom, I'm going to go back to March 25th at the MGM Grand. David Benavidez versus Caleb Plant. That was your main event, but you also had Chris Colbert against Venezuela on that card, which was really good. You also had Abel Ramos against fellow
Cody
Canadian, against Cody the Crippler Crowley. That opened the card. And
great opener too.
Dude, that whole card, top to bottom, was phenomenal, right? And he had the other Ramos on there as well. I just can't remember who he was fighting. I apologize, but all 4 fights on that card were phenomenal.
And Cody Crowley is the #1 contender for 147. He's opening up the show, so that's how good this card was.
Exactly. And, if anyone has the most interest in the outcome of Crawford and Spence, it's got to be this guy.
I hope he gets a fight to winner because he should.
I hope so. He should. I'm going to reach out to him and let's see if we can get him on here soon. I know he's traveling around doing his thing, but let's see if we can find him and see if we can come on. I'd love to pick his brain before this fight. This would be a really good one.
Yeah,
I think his opinion is one opinion that probably matters more than anyone else's.
He's the closest guy to it. Yeah.
Right. All right. Top story of the year so far. What do you got?
A few. I have to say, because it takes the headlines, I think it's Fury and Usyk not getting it on. They both had the path right ahead of them to unify these belts. One guy will be undisputed. The two best heavyweights, two of the biggest names in the world. They should have made it happen. They didn't make it happen. So for me, that's a bigger story. This fight should be happening in the next month or so here. It's not going to happen. So that's the bigger story for me. Fury and Usyk not fighting. What about you?
I went Spence Crawford announcement. I went because we've been waiting so long for it, and it's the legit. Like, I mean, again, because we are a little bit older, we have a bit more boxing background in terms of what we've seen and whatnot. So as a little kid growing up with the Four Kings, I look at this fight. This is the closest thing we will get to something that close to like one of those 4 guys fighting each other. You know what I mean?
This is definitely on paper like the biggest fight since Mayweather.
Yeah, definitely.
Will it deliver? We don't know.
We don't know yet, but we'll find out.
Deliver this might.
Yeah, well, let's find out. I think this will deliver because both guys are at that level, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to be. I'm going to make a prediction now. I don't think it's going to be a match that people will go, "Ooh, it's going to be." It's a chess match.
Yeah,
this will be a chess match, definitely, hands down. I went Crawford and Spence, obviously, but a very close second for me was the announcement of Canelo signing the 3-fight deal with PBC.
It's a big one too,
right? So, I mean, it was between the two of them, but because I've been waiting so long for this fight to happen to finally hear it, and to your point, I was thinking about the Usyk Fury, but I'm just so disgusted by it because, like I said, him and Canelo are the two guys that bring the two biggest names. Casual fans will listen to them.
Always.
Right? If what Canelo's doing right now, he shut me up. I have nothing I can say. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Dude,
right?
He's undisputed versus Charles undisputed. Like, come on.
You can't go wrong. And to be honest, I mean,
Really?
right now, off the top of my head, I would say he's going to walk him.
I think Canelo will beat him too.
That's what I'm saying. I think he's going to walk him, take him for a walk. I really do. It's a bit of a mismatch, but that being said, let's see. It's early. It's early. Yeah. It's early. All right. Best broadcasting team.
Top rank.
Same
Andre
here.
Andre Ward and Joe Tessitore. Andre Ward.
Guard, he's gone. Yeah. Did you see that? Bradley was really torn up about that. He
I like Bradley. But you can't keep everybody high salary. Somebody's got to go. It sucks to lose your job, but that's part of the game. Andre Ward will be fine. He can land wherever he wants to land. But
Dude, that's a huge blow, man. And him, Kellerman, and Ward, that's huge.
They'll be fine, though. They'll bounce around.
No, they'll be fine. But I'm saying, do you want a Kellerman and an Andre Ward going to PBC? I mean, technically speaking, right now, they got the best cards right now, in essence. Mm-hmm. They got the best rosters, in essence. They do. But, I mean, I think right now, slight edge goes to PBC.
It's pretty close.
Overall, right? All right.
But yeah, top rank, absolutely. I love
Finally.
Gordon and Bradley.
Finally. Yeah. All right, final one. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
I saved this one for last. I was really, this is the big one. Knockout of the year so far. What do you got?
I got to go with Tank knocking out Garcia just because they have the most significance, the most impact, and the most eyeballs are on it. It's the one that most people know about. So I got to say Tank finishing off Garcia in 7 rounds there, whatever that was.
Okay, I didn't go that way. I went Nakatani knocking out Mahoney.
Yeah, that was a big one too.
Now, as it stands right now, in my opinion, this is the knockout of the year. That was just beautiful. I mean,
it's a way more hard. Yeah,
right. Vicious. I mean, from that and whatnot, it just the way he went down, and it looked scary there for a minute afterwards as well. Tank knocking down Ryan. It just the way it looked. To be honest, I get it. In hindsight, I understand the science behind it. It came later. But just the way he went down and, he took the shot, it took a few seconds, then he takes the knee, it was a weird one, but I hear you. But because of the eyeballs and everything else that's involved with that fight, I get it.
That one, yeah.
I get it. But in terms of just a boxing knockout and probably will win. Sure. And if something comes along in the next 6 months, I don't think this will be touched. I think this is knockout of the year right now.
No, this one's not. I don't think anyone's going to touch this one.
Right. Well, let's see. We got 6 more months, man. I mean, Better Beef is coming up. We got some great fights coming up down the road here. So
Canelo, we got
Canelo and Noah.
They're saying Ugas are going to get it on here.
Yeah, they got Ugas. His face is healed now after Spence broke it. So he should be coming back here as well. And then, I mean, the fall, we're looking at Morel and Benavidez possibly. We got Canelo and Charlo coming up here. Man, I would love to be a fly on the wall when Tim Tszyu found that out.
Oh, he must be a joke, but he doesn't have as much name recognition, right? And it sucks for him.
Oh, does it ever, though? I mean, him and Cody should fucking start a petition.
Hopefully Cody gets a big fight. I think he's got to fight one more time, so he can't just fight one series. Too young for that, Cody.
Well, that's the thing, but that's the gamble now. Who do you fight? Right? Like, do you want to lose your spot? Like, this is where
maybe he does. Maybe he gets Manny Pacquiao over to the Sky Dome over there because, like he was saying, they put 70,000 people in there because they could easily do that.
Well, hey man, maybe we get Lady D on the case. She's in the Philippines.
Yeah, that'd be a crazy fight.
That'd be amazing. All right, Chance. Anything happened on this day in boxing history?
Yeah, a long time ago. We're gonna go back 110 years, man.
Okay.
Sorry, 110 years. 100 years. Jack Dempsey, 15 rounds. And this reason why I bring this story up because they fought in Shelby, Montana. He beat up Tommy Gibbons. The reason why I bring this story up, he won the belt, but it bankrupted the town after. All the money went to the fight. All the money went to the judges and everything, and it crippled the town for a few months after the fight. Jack Dempsey, 15 rounds over Tommy Gibbons, 1923 in Shelby, Montana.
Jack Dempsey always had great hair.
Huh?
Jack Dempsey always had great hair.
Yeah.
So those guys always look slick though, eh?
Oh yeah, they're dressed nice and everything. Always looked the part. But yeah, it crippled the town financially after. So I don't know what they did, put all the money into the fight in the arena. I'm not sure, but 15 rounds he won 100 years ago.
That's
today.
crazy, man. Absolutely
1923.
crazy. All right. Jared Anderson, what did you think of him this weekend?
Got a good test, man. He's not the invincible force we all thought he was. Got,
And that's what I said, right? It's like,
got rocked
okay,
a couple times by Martin, and he won,
yeah.
but man, he's not ready for the big boys yet. He's gonna get put on his.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't put him
He's
up in
still
the top.
young.
I wouldn't put him in the top 10 yet, to be fair.
No,
But I mean, if you think about it, like here's what I took away from that fight last on Saturday night. I watched it and I'm watching this thing and I'm like, okay, here's what he needs to work on. He needs to work on defense. He leaves himself open too much. That's a big issue, right?
yeah,
I mean,
big time.
the sample size of Jared Anderson is being so small because he's finishing everyone so fast. I mean, against Martin there, we got to see what he really, really needs to work on. And I think him
His first real challenge too, and he Martin took on the limits, man. He almost
well,
I thought he
yeah.
finished him for a second.
No, he took him the distant. I mean, he had him up against the ropes. There's no arguing that he won.
Yeah,
But coming out of this fight, he had his moments. He looked good, but here we go. I think he needs to work on his defensive skills. His defensive side of the game is what's going to cost him anything, if everything.
old man Bob was sweating like, "Oh my God, Jared, you better pull this off. You
Well,
better not go
yeah,
down to Charles
no,
Martin,
for
dude."
sure. But you know what? I see a lot of Shakir in him too, though. The guy
Mm,
has a lot of potential. Like he's
he
quick
does.
for a big man, right?
Yeah.
I think the biggest blessing in disguise for him was to go the full distance. He needed those rounds. He
You
needed,
need to get tested to the limit like that. See what he's
yeah,
made of.
yeah, no, absolutely, right. And there you go. This is another situation where the guy's coming in with all the hype in the world. I mean, I go back to a few weeks ago with Ramallah Ali. I mean, the girl was considered. They weren't even talking about who she's fighting, who she's going to fight next, who
Mm,
she's going to contend for, right? But then she got into that fight and she was humble.
big time.
Not saying Jared was humbled, but he was brought down to earth.
Yeah, it was probably a good thing for him going
Yeah.
forward. I'm a top guy.
No,
Fight
he
the
needed that.
U6 and Wilder guys.
Well, dude, at this point, I don't think he's ready for a Wallin,
No, no, not yet. A couple more
right?
fights to go.
And that's not taking anything away from him. I think
No,
he's on the right trajectory. I think if they play this properly, they do the right things with this kid, he should be the next biggest name in American heavyweight boxing.
he's on the trajectory to be that. If he keeps
He
up doing
is.
what he's doing.
They just got to be smart now, right? And pick the right fights where he can hone his skills. And again, he's got to work on that defense. That's the only thing I took away from it is he left himself open. And if Martin can get in there and throw a couple punches, you're not going to last at all with a Usyk, a Fury, a Joyce,
Wilder.
a Zhang, a Wilder. And you know what? Fuck it. I'll even throw Andy Ruiz in there.
Yeah, Ruiz will. Yeah, at this point, I think Ruiz would beat him at this stage in his career.
At this stage, yeah, absolutely. Did you catch the what's her name singing the national anthem before she fought?
I did.
That was interesting, eh?
Yeah, it's cool. Something different, right? You don't see that very often. Maybe on the local scene they do it, but not on the big stage.
No, and she was singing it proud and everything, man. She didn't look that good though, to be honest.
No, but it's kind of cool that she did that song though.
It's kind of weird to think she's undisputed though, going into that fight.
I know there's not as many female boxers as male boxers, right? And
Yeah. Well, you know what? That is setting it up for Shields and Marshall too.
A good fight.
I think so, man. It was kind of interesting because Clarissa was all over that fight, man. She was in the crowd. She was a part. She was in the press conference.
She had a big interest in this fight, so yeah, it's good to see her there.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, brother, man. I tell you what, let's wrap this puppy up. I am excited. Where are we at? We got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 sleeps away before we hit the road and go down to Seattle. God knows what we're gonna find down there, who we're gonna find down there, who we're gonna meet down there. But I tell you what, guys, we're gonna take whatever we can down with us. It's easier because we're driving, so we can carry a little bit more.
Yeah.
We're going to try to find athletes. We're going to try to find whoever's around, get some interviews, get some quick shots, get some, who knows what we're going to find.
Who knows what kind of baseball guys we're going to find down there. You just never know.
Guy, all I'm going to say, who knows who we're going to find.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Let's leave it at that. We got a couple things that we're hoping to accomplish while we're down there. We're not going to spill the beans just in case we're not able to. But guys, stay tuned. The content's going to start pouring in. We're going to have a lot of fun. Wish you guys were with us, but I tell you what, here we go. First one for me, first one for you.
Yeah, first one, man.
That's awesome, brother, man. Let's do this. Let's rip it up. On that note, my name is Bobby Sampson, joined with my man, Mr. Chance Michaels.
And in the words of the great AC/DC, those that download, like, and subscribe and share the podcast and who watch a Midsummer Classic, we salute you.
Absolutely. And on that note, in the words of Ed Whalen, in the meantime and in between time, that's it for Samp and Chance. And guys, remember Tuesday we will be releasing that interview.
Great interview.
It's a great interview. Unfortunately, we won't be there to do record an episode, so we have this locked in. So, guys, we'll find you at the Summer Classic, the Midsummer Classic. This has been the mid-year review. Samp and Chance are out.